After the Soviets withdrawal in the late 80s, we have the right now American experience withdrawal. To nearly another decade was passed since the Taliban seized the power in Afghanistan when U.S.-led war broke out across the country. So we have the Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden, as well. Right now, after 20 years, they are right now they are okay withdrawing from Afghanistan. It means that first of all, whenever they're speaking about as part of the operation, Afghanistan was conquered and the Taliban regime was overthrown in these 20 years, which in turn led to the bloody guerrilla war against the new regime supported by the infidel coalition led by the United States as the Islamic concept that we spoke about. And assisting the Afghan regime in stabilizing a regime based on the democratic values and principles by strengthening and arming and training the military to deal within its own enemies, including the Taliban. But we have to understand the Islamic concepts see not from the infidels that are Americans, Soviets, Germans, or Western cultures. They say the cultural invasion, not only to the ideas, to the people, by the westernized culture. It means as you remember 20 years ago, they got first of all to the TVs, got the TVs, and with the hammer they were shattering it and were taking all the TVs and all the education centers and the girls schools that right now out of there are 3 million girls right now that are learning during these 20 years that were schools and the colleges and university was reopened to them, and the women's status was upgraded as the Western countries culture and based on the state building that even it wasn't succeeded also in Iraq. The same thing happened with the Afghans, that they have tribal culture. After the nearly 20 years of wallowing in the Afghan mud, U.S. President Joe Biden announced at the White House press conference in April 14, 2021, that he intended to withdraw the remnants of American forces from Afghanistan by September 11. I mean, the quotation and the time and the Doha agreement that was, I think, in February 2020s, make us to think also, even we are confronting with the terrorists, okay? They say, okay, they were so polite, okay, right now we're not the terrorists that were before that and so on. Just let us to gonna get to the power, okay? And the quotation of the Biden, it was it's time to end America's longest war. It means the 20 years. It's time for American soldiers to return home, and the United States will begin its final withdrawal on May the 1st in 2021. And Biden says, we will not retreat hostility. We will do so responsibility, deliberately and safely, and we will do so in full coordination with our allies and partners, and who now have more forces in Afghanistan that we have. So we have to withdraw, as he said. And the problem it wasn't the withdrawal. Also, the Trump administration said we have to withdraw and get out of that. It's going to give the administration to the 300,000 troops that we have over there, and the Taliban, there are between 60 or 70,000. That's right now they have the experiences. That's not only this Soviets, the 10 years that we have fighting against them as individuals. After 20 years, also over here, that's the experience, 30 years of the experiences of the fighting against the superpowers, Soviet Union and the Americans. And right now, whenever that's getting out of the Afghanistan, we have to see the price that they paid United States in Afghanistan during almost 20 years of fighting. It's fighting against the guerrilla, fighting against the terrorists, it's fighting against those that whoever that's going to be caught by them, going to be head cut headed, beheaded by these terrorists. It means that whenever speaking about these theories, we have to understand that whenever they're speaking about the Western culture or the Judeo Christian values, that it's how to sanctify yourself and sanctifying the life. But over there, they have the confrontation with the concept that okay, whenever that's going to get to the jihad, you're going to get to the it's going to be it's going to be killed. It's going to go straight away to the heaven. And the heaven, what they have in the heaven in the Islamic concept, they have 72 virgins waiting for them over there. 72 virgins. So okay, so everything is open. If you're going to be killed, or if not going to be killed, you're going to have to conquer all the places. You're going to get girls from 9 years old, as Aisha was 7 or 8, 9 years old, as the Prophet Muhammad got married with her. So you can have the girls also in this, and in this upon the Islamic concepts. And what does it mean, jihad and nikah? Jihad and nikah, that was the girls that were kidnapped, the girls from the that's what be taken from those that are not Muslims, even Muslims got gonna get married for there's we have in Shia, we have mut'ah, and in the ISIS and the Islamist concept, we have the masyar as well. We have jihad and nikah. Jihad and nikah, that they can rape as much as they want, and the mullah and the sayyid and the clergyman that's over there, they say, okay, I'm gonna keep them for 1 hour, I'm gonna keep them for 20 minutes, and so on. Is the the prostitution, Islamic prostitution that is based on the Islamic concepts. Okay, is mubah and is halal, and in the post-truth era that we cannot speak directly. What does it mean? These Islamists do think really that that they can do with the infidels. It's not only terrorism. It's also some tribal, primitive, 1400 years ago way of thinking, that it's a confrontation and fighting against the Western values and the status of the women and so on. That's those in this region maybe cannot understand the real Islam. What does it mean? Because the in the media not letting us to say what Islam means, and wherever that you're gonna be, wherever that you're gonna be speaking, speaking about the real Islam, what does it mean? Right away they're gonna be censored. All the clips on the Facebook and all these places right away gonna put away that it's violence. It's a violence. You're speaking of it in the post-modern era that we have to respect all the beliefs. Okay, but how about the terrorists? Even Obama didn't want to gonna say that the Islamic terrorists. Even France, whenever that got to the ISIS got to the clubs and started to shoot people, even there was censored. Everything is right now. We are under the cover of the media. That everything is covered. Everything is is so polite and so on. You don't see even the ISIS. We don't see you don't see the Taliban. The Taliban we see right now in these white shelters and Abba and so on, and they are right now they are not the same that was 20 years ago. But whenever that's four women pilots this surround themselves, they not put them in jail. Also, they put them to gonna throw stones on them and gonna kill them because they were cooperating with the infidels, with the Americans, and so on. Just think about the hostage crisis that's besides whatever that we have more than 3,800 American contractors, workers were killed. Besides whatever that's lost their lives, 2,442 American soldiers over there. And the soldiers, 1,144 NATO country soldiers, and nearly 70,000 Afghan security forces, and $2 or $3 trillion that's invested for attempt to rehabilitate the state and the state building, and more than $85 billion of troops. I mean the ammunition and the weapons and so on that were left by United States. Just make us think once again. Whenever the Democrats, genius